Welcome back to the Juice Reviews. Today we are diving into Japan, where we're finding Coldrain with their new song, Cut Me. And remember to stick to the end of the video to see us give out stars in structure, lyrics, and sexiness. You listened to this track just a few minutes ago.
Yep.
What is your honest review about this one? What is your honest take?
Well, like my honest take on this song is that I actually had to listen to it a couple of times. I asked you to like put it on repeat a couple of times.
That's a good thing.
In some cases, it's like, oh, I just have to listen to how shit it is. Oh my god, how shit can it become? No, that's not how it was. It's a cool song. I absolutely love it. I have this thing with metal, their type of metal. It's kind of, it's not progressive metal. I don't know what exactly you would call that genre. It's not really new age.
No, but I will say it's some sort of new metal in a way. They have a distinctive sound and reference back to the early 2000s.
Yeah.
There's Masato, who is I think it's pronounced Masato. I'm not really sure. He's half Japanese, half American. And despite their being from Japan, they're singing their lyrics in English.
Yeah.
So we could actually read up on the lyrics to see what's going on there. Listening to the type of song techniques that is being used, there's a lot of clean song.
Yeah.
And there's some screamo in there.
Yeah.
But in this track in particular, there's a lot of both.
Yeah. I think this kind of like style of metal they have some like I guess it does have like a specific genre that I don't think it's new metal, but I think it's something along the lines. I don't really know because there's like so many of these types of mix and matches of metal and rock and pop and it's all called something different. And there's like it kind of like it's blurry lines basically. but what I really like, and that's actually my thing with a lot of these things, because I love this kind of metal. I love metal and when I consume this kind of music, I get a little bit too scared if it's too generic.
Yeah.
If it's just like everything else constantly. Like if it's just a banger and a hit, like then I don't really care. Like pop has sounded like the same the last 10 years and there are amazing pop hits out there. So it's not that I'm not trying to say it has to be reinvented all the time, but sometimes it can just, when it's not a genre I consume on a daily basis and I really need it to be something that catches me.
Yeah.
I need it also to just not sound like everything else. And I don't think this was like that. I actually think it stood out. I think it was very catchy and it was very, very cool, and I would put it on again to actually listen to it.
But then again, he has a very powerful voice.
Yeah.
Like I remember we talked about Coldrain from a long time ago when we're actually looked at Masato and we're like, would he be a nice replacement for Chester Bennington back in the day? I would still say that he is a great replacement if it came to that case, because he has it's the same type of voice techniques that he uses.
He has a more high-pitched scream than a lone note growl, basically, it's very much like what Chester did.
Where we see a lot of metal singers when they're using screamo and growling and such, it always has this low punch, like a bass distortion punch within the voice. But what he is doing, like Chester did, was having this nice mid-range that is so controllable, and they're having such a high range with it. Like it fills out the mix in so many, even live, it fills out the mix so well.
Yeah, I do somewhat agree. I think what I think is the difference on him and Chester, at least to what I can hear and what I'm listening to, and this is not necessarily a good thing for Chester or a bad thing, but the thing Chester was doing with his voice was it sounded amazing, but it sounded violent. Like when you listen to his way of doing it, you can just almost hear that he is hurting himself doing this.
Yeah, it's almost harmful in a way.
Yeah, I don't think it was, but it was just an aggressive and it's like his scream was kind of like violent, beastie kind of thing. When you listen to him today, and we gotta remember that it's been a long time, many years. A lot of techniques have evolved to take care of the artist's voice better than what Chester probably knew of back in the day. He was kind of like some of the first. His voice here is just more controlled. It sounds more pleasant for him to do. It doesn't sound violent. It doesn't sound quite as extreme, even though it is exactly as extreme. It just sounds more controlled,
it still sounds
more
like he has
soft.
more energy to give while doing it.
when Chester was doing it, you could just feel that he was like screaming
his heart out.
Yeah, his heart, and he wanted to destroy the earth with the power of his voice alone. And I think that's kind of like the difference I'm listening to. Absolutely, like he was amazing. And that's the kind of like the difference that I can hear, and I think that's also what makes Chester unique for Linkin Park, that he just was that much of a powerhouse.
But like seeing that Coldrain is coming in from the right here, they're coming in from Japan and they're taking over more and more. Like there's huge on the Korean scenes right now. They're playing stadiums and they're like sold out shows and everything. And then we're seeing their name for the first time in Europe. I can't help but like look at this band and look at what we have here in Europe to offer. And we're saying, why aren't they playing in Europe? And why aren't they touring more around the globe? Something has been badly communicated somehow. Because I looked up one of their live shows on Vans Warped Tour, and the sound there was horrible, and the crowd was confused. Everything was like they came from this contrast of sold out stadium shows in Korea, and then they come to the American stages where Vans Warped Tour is there for 0 people with bad sounding, and I'm like, what is happening? They even made a song together with Jacoby Shaddix.
Oh, they did?
Yes,
he's a cool guy.
And then like Jacoby Shaddix know about these guys, but they're not touring together. Why? What is happening, Jacoby? What is happening? You mentioned something about the way they're describing, like communicating their song throughout the lyrics here. You said something about like we agreed to disagree. That's the thing they're mentioning in the lyrics.
Yeah, there was something like that we were talking about, like what they were actually like trying to tell, the story they were trying to tell, because it seemed like there was like some clear that they were singing about something very specific, but we were not quite actually in agreement of what that specific thing was. That word that everybody can pronounce in Denmark.
Specific word.
Yeah, that specific word that is pronounced specific. But I think we ended up like agreeing it was some kind of like a family or friend or something that was arguing, and there was some kind of like hardship, destroyed feeling of trust and stuff like that.
It didn't sound like a romantic.
No, because I thought it was like, maybe it was like one of those, unhappy romances, and she let me down, he let me down, whatever. But when I was looking at lyrics, I kind of realized, yeah, you're right. It's not about that.
No,
I think it was just one sentence who kind of like got me on that track. But looking and reading the rest of it, that wasn't what it was.
No,
I think it's something more like familiar, or
it's kind of like a friend or foe thing. Because there apparently someone crossed his lines. Someone got a little too close or took their own step too far in a argument or something, or in a discussion or debate of some kind. And he apparently apparently he's been pushed down on his arguments a little too long, and this is his way of screaming his frustration out on that particular subject. Again, particular.
I felt in the lyrics there were some hints to like maybe some parents who weren't good or nice to or proud of their kid, and the kid was trying to like make a living for himself. Something like harsh parents who were not proud or were in disagreement with something like that. I felt there was something there. But again, it's not really clear. It could just have been a childhood friend who let him down.
Because then again, there's this sentence that's going on in the middle of the song.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Can we still be friends? And like he's laughing and screaming, no.
Yeah, he's like I think he's laughing like almost like psychotic, like serial killer psychotic. No.
It's like you've been crossing my line way too far, buddy. So that's not gonna happen. Yeah. The communication of the song, it's kind of, even though we love some of the sentences and we love how the lyrics are written, I still kind of find it flat. The communication isn't really pushing through to me. It's confusing me somehow.
I
don't know. Again, hello?
Did someone forget to turn off the phone?
No, my phone is over there. Hi, guys.
It is.
Yeah.
Jeez, it is. What the hell was vibrating?
I don't know. We have ghosts in the studio today.
The fucking rats have become like really advanced. They're running around with iPhones now.
The communication of the song kind of flat for me, because I was not really sure what specifically did they target. Like, is it a friend? Is it a foe? Is it a family member? Of course, most artists like myself, when I'm writing lyrics, wants my audience to take my lyrics and put it in their own scenario.
I think
I'm not really sure what type of scenario we're looking for.
I don't think it's a bad lyric per se. I will say when I was looking through it, maybe not my favorite lyric, but not a bad one. But I think there were some things where it became a little When it comes to that part of the whole structure thing, where we how they build up a song, how are they presenting it, do they take us by surprise, stuff like that. I had this thing where I was like I was not quite sure. Do I love this or do I hate it? And I think I ended on the love side, and the reason
Luckily.
why is the reason why is there's so much is happening in this song, and it really
there's so much going on. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you can really feel we've been eating chili.
Yeah. If you want to check out Chili episode, press the card.
You can feel they're trying to keep your attention throughout. There's a lot of things happening, like that psychotic laughter effect that he kind of has with it was. That's like something extra. And then there's also sort of like a breakdown. Then there's a build up, and then there's a beat part, and then there's a chorus, and then there's a new breakdown, and all kinds of things happen. Of course, within the range of it's not like weird or wrong. It's not jazz all of a sudden, which is wrong. It was just so much, and I was a little bit. Is it too much? Is it getting to the part where it's like almost stresses your ears to hear it? Or is it just right so that it keeps your attention focused on the song?
Because they're really striving towards that phenomenon that goes on where like it takes the listener like 7 seconds to like swipe on the track or stay on the track, and they're constantly making sure that you're entertained throughout the track with something new going on constantly.
Quick question: there wasn't a solo in it, was there?
Not what I heard.
No, I just thought that isn't even a solo. That's actually like
that's very rare within the genre.
It's not. Yeah, it's not like it's impressive, but again, it just there was so much happening in this song that you don't need it either. There was just so many things happening.
Yeah.
But I do end up loving it. I do like that they're doing it like this, because I don't think I would have given the song any attention. I think it just would have fallen into the category. Oh, it's a good metal song. It sounds nice, just like the rest 200 I've heard. Yeah,
it's the track number 3 on their new album.
That's called non-negative.
Non-negative. That's the one. Yeah. Placing this track on the number 3 of the album for me would find fitting. Like I wouldn't start the album with this track, and I wouldn't end it with it either. Like, it kind of takes the energy back into the album somehow. Yeah.
I mean, depending on what the rest of the songs on the album is like, having it as on the number 3 track, it seems reasonable, because like people are listening to it, they're getting hyped up and pumped up, and then this track is like part of that hyping it up.
Yeah. In most of our cases, we love this track.
Absolutely.
Remember, we don't really review tracks that we don't like.
Nope.
Anyways, let's move on to the stars, shall we? Like, should we start with the structure now that we just phased out from that structure discussion?
I was so confused about it at the beginning, but I gave it a couple of chances just to make sure that like what do I feel about so much happening, and I ended up on the loving side. I think this is just right, and I love this kind of thing. I will give it 4.
4 stars in structure.
Just because like it's cool, it's well made.
I don't know if I agree on that one.
No, but that's okay. You can be wrong once in a while. It's okay.
Sometimes it happens. The reason why I don't really agree on it is it's still, again, that we're looking at a track here that is constantly surprising us. That's a good thing. But then again, it doesn't really come out with any breaks along the way. It doesn't really take us down a notch, and it's not like letting you breathe on like throughout the track at any point.
You feel that at some point, if you had like listened to the song on repeat for a couple of times, it would start getting stressful.
I would start getting confused about how many times have I heard it and where in the song am I? Am I in the intro, the chorus, the verse, the pre-chorus? Where am I?
Yeah, there's just so much happening.
Yeah, there's so much going on, and there's like it doesn't like lead you up or down at any point. Like the energy from the verse to the energy in the chorus, it kind of feels the same.
I do get that you're wrong, but I do get that still. So
wow, I would still put it at a low as a 2.
That is low. That is low.
2 because of this. Because I don't feel the energy variation. Still loving the track though. Still loving the track and loving the band.
We have to put on stars, so one of us has to either budge or we have to like split it down the middle. So I'm saying 4, you're saying 2, so that's a 3.
So we're ending on 3 stars on structure.
Yeah.
I can agree on that.
Split the difference.
3 stars on the structure. Star girl, you got this. Yeah. She loves me so much.
Please don't cancel us, YouTube. We kind of like it.
Anyways, let's move on to the lyrics then, because we talked a little about the communication of the track and who we found it referencing to.
Yeah, the lyrics is like I'm like on a 2 there. I just didn't like. I liked the song and the lyrics when he was singing it, but again, there was so much happening, and I wasn't quite listening to like the word. I was looking to.
There was a lot of repetitiveness going on.
Yeah, I was when you listen to. I don't know if it's just me, but when you're listening to a song, you're not really listening to what the people are saying. You're more like listening to how's it sound and like the whole thing. For the love of me, I can't repeat that many song lyrics because it's just not the thing you notice the most. But now when I'm looking through the song lyrics, I gotta say I'm not the greatest fan.
No, like
of the
I
lyrics.
Was, when I heard the track, I felt myself needing to like open up the lyrics and check out what is even happening here. Some of the words, it kind of feels forced to pronounce it in a certain way to make it rhyme with the other parts of the lyrics. Yeah, I get that. I get the idea. It's done before, but I don't really feel it as a doable way to set up the communication very well.
I have a comment on that because we also have to remember, first of all, they made this song and it's clearly not about love between partners.
No, it's
and when we look at like how many songs are being written about that, kudos for not taking that direction for once. So mad respect for that and actually make it pretty clear because you caught on to it at like immediate that it wasn't like about love. It was just me who was slow. So like kudos for making it pretty clear that this is not a love song.
Yeah, actually admitted to that.
Imagine if they comment and say it's actually a love song, and we're then there was the other part, that whole psychotic laugh at the nut part. That's catchy. That's cool.
But then again, that's a performance thing.
But it's still in the track. It's still in the track.
They managed to get a laughter within their lyrics.
Yeah, I mean,
it actually is written out. Ha 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 ha.
It supports the whole story of the lyrics. It's still lyrics because it tells the story.
Yeah,
and it's part of the story that they're trying to communicate. So it's cool. We can't go too. That's not fair. There were parts that were cool. I
still find that the lyrics are repetitive. The communication for who this in particular is referenced to is kind of confusing.
For us, at least.
Then again, the performance of the lyrics are so well done that I would end on the 3 stars.
Yeah, that was part of it. That was just so cool and memorable.
Is this one of my favorite lyrical tracks from Coldrain? No, it's not. Is it one of my favorite tracks from Coldrain? No, it's not. But I still love the track.
Then this is actually where I'm coming in like a bit weird because I like this one better than the other one reviewed.
Really?
Yeah, I do. Even though I'm giving it way less stars, I still think it's a more catchy song. And I think that's just the music, basically. I would rather listen to this one, even though I'm kind of bashing it a little bit more than with the other one, where I actually said I was more of it. I actually like this more. I might be treating it a bit hard on these specific points. The things that work in it is just so good.
Yeah.
That this is still the one I'm gonna play again.
Yes.
For some weird reason, even though I'm completely bashing it here. So maybe
that's the transition into the sexiness. Actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because when we're looking at the sexiness of the track, and this is of course definitely just a personal opinion about the track. It's a star power thing. The star power of this track is phenomenal.
I'm just gonna go 5. Just
phenomenal.
5.
Like the performance that Masato is like.
Is it Basato or Masa? Masato. Okay, sorry.
Masato. Masato.
I think it's gonna be a 5 for me because even though there are a lot of the songs that I highly critique and that I'm not necessarily a fan of, the overall feeling of the song is just amazing. Yes. I am nitpicking some of these things, so 5 for me. It's just a cool song, and I am gonna play it again.
Even though I felt that the energy level didn't really go up or down at any point, I still felt very, very entertained throughout the entire track. I love the performance of the vocalist on this one, and I just feel it's so well written. It's not something that you'll hear the average band just go into a band and like a studio and of course try to replicate. The only band I've ever imagined was able to write something like this is Coldrain. No other band out there would go into a studio and come up with that. It's very unique.
It's difficult because I don't really consume this kind of music on a daily basis, like this specific type of rock. I would just have to take a word for it.
Yeah, but imagine if like if you said put on another genre, you would say, would you feel just as entertained even though the energy level didn't really just go up and down in any other genre? Have you ever seen that? Like, and the performance of the vocalist is just carrying you through the entire track?
No, not personally. With the songs I listen, I don't know. I think it's difficult. I think I'm with you. I think I'm with you on that one. Yeah,
I would actually put 5 stars into Sexyness just because it's a track that blew me away in so many ways. Like we had to put it on repeat just to do this review, and we're like, what just happened? Like, put it on repeat one more. What is happening with the lyrics? Put it on repeat once again. Like, what's happening?
Even though that with the lyrics we are saying like it's not the best lyrics we've ever read, screaming thunderstruck 2,000 times in 3 minutes isn't exactly like genius either.
No,
you know,
it's amazing.
But it's just it has to just it
has the star power.
It does. It's cool.
Like, I would go to a show with Coldrain, and when this song comes on, I would be doing the mosh pit thing. I would run around in circles, smashing my head into the concrete. Maybe that's what happened. How about it, guys? Do you agree or do you disagree? See what I did there with the stars that we put on Coldrain? New song called "Cut Me."
Thank you for watching. Go roast him in the comments. He's a wuss when it comes to chili, and I'll see you next time.
Bye. We just came back from another episode where we had a chili challenge. If you're interested in watching that, click the video down below.
You're gonna be interested in watching that.
Yes.